Hello, my spooky friends, and welcome back to Where Midnight Looms. My name is Lisa, and in today's video, we are going to be making Halloween-themed, altered playing cards. This is a great project because not only is it really fun and simple, but you really don't need any fancy supplies. All you need are some scraps, some fussy cuts, maybe some stickers and some trim that you have lying around. And with a little bit of creative, spooky flair, you can come up with some great altered playing cards like these. So I did 4 to get us started. The first 2 I had turned into hidden paper clips, and the third one has the little envelope on the back, and this I just glued the coffee dyed paper on the back. So I thought I would do the 4 to get us started so you could see where I was sort of headed with this. I've got 4 that we're going to do today in the video, and I just went ahead and glued some very neutral scraps of paper on these cards. The first card is a little bit smaller than the other 3, but it doesn't matter. Whatever playing cards you have lying around will work. So I basically got out a bunch of but random die cuts, Halloween die cuts. I've got some fussy cuts. I've got some ephemera in this binder here. And I'm going to be pulling out some words and a couple other pieces that I think the size will work well for these playing cards. But the thing with these is that I find that this project goes a little bit smoother if I don't get myself too overwhelmed with choices. Normally, I like to pull out a ton of paper, a ton of die cuts, a ton of stamps and stickers, and the whole kit and caboodle. But with these, I've come to understand that if I give myself less choice, the process goes a little bit smoother for me. And I had these stickers that I absolutely loved, and I like the orange flower. And as soon as I put the die cut frame around it, I was like, this is perfect. So I wanted to test out, I had the other sticker and the other frame, and I like this, and I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to make that one as well. But I decided for the video, I'm just going to stick with this sticker because again, I like how the orange flower pops out there, and we've got this frame. Once I put the frame around it, I was like, that's perfect. There's something about that black frame around that orange flower that I absolutely love. And then we're just going to put this little bat fussy cut. I think that might have come from a Tim Holtz ephemera pack, I think. Anyways, I absolutely love this. Perfect. And then on the back of this one, I've just got this scrap piece of paper that I'm going to glue on the back. And then if I use this in my journal, I'll just do something on the back. Maybe I'll even use some Halloween stamps and do some stamping on the back of that. So then I find these embossed wings that I absolutely love, and I don't mind that they stick over the card a bit. And I can't quite find the right thing that I need to go underneath those. And then I pull out some Tim Holtz dials. I don't know what it is about dials and Halloween, but they do seem to go together very well. And then I've got the black cat, which I actually really quite like. And I do want a little pop of color, so I like the green there. And I'm thinking, yeah, I like this, but let's just see if we can do something else. And as soon as I put this cauldron down, I was like, that's perfect. I love that. And then I've got this poison, and for a split second, I changed my mind. And then I'm like, no, put it back. I really like that there. And I want words or letters or a word to go over the cauldron, but I think I want something a little bit smaller, like this size-ish, right? So I still want a pop of color, and that's not going to be it. And I'm thinking green, that's not that stamp. I really wanted that beetle to work, but it's too much white. And then I was like, I love this. This is perfect. So then I was like, I just want one little other thing there to go up beside that green stamp just to fill in that space a tiny bit. And then I've got that butterfly and I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Let's glue this down. So I've got my art glitter glue here, which is just perfect for working with these die cuts that have these teeny tiny little spots for gluing. There was a time when I was quite intimidated by these die cuts, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't know, how do you glue them down? But once a friend of mine got me onto the art glitter glue with the tiny little tip there, I was like, there is no going back now. So we're just going to glue that on there. I'm going to pull up the handle a teeny bit so it can just sit over top of the stamp. Perfect. Perfect. And then the little butterfly is just going to go at the top there. Very ghoulish. There you have it. So then on the back, we are going to turn this one into a hidden paper clip. And I've got the organza trim here, the green. And I like to use a little bit of masking tape to make sure that it's kind of hard to glue down a paper clip, right? So I like to use the masking tape to hold the paper clip down. And then I've used the Beacon 3-in-1 glue because the playing cards are quite slick and glossy and slippy, and I'm going to, with the heavier cardstock, I like to use the 3-in-1 glue to make sure that it gets held down nicely on the back. And then I really like this stained glass window die cut, and I'm quite determined to make it work, but I can't do it. So then I find this raven. I really like him a lot, but obviously there's something, no. Just no. I don't mind that, but there's something what I like about this kind of a project is that you're basically moving all these little pieces of paper around until you absolutely know, you go, yes, that's it. And this is how I felt about this owl. I really, really wanted the raven to work, but as soon as I got the owl, the Happy Halloween, and the 31, I was like, it's so simple, but it's so perfect, right? So it's an interesting little, journey into your psyche, if you will, as you're moving these pieces of paper and arranging things, and then that moment your brain just lights up and you're like, that's it. Right? So I'm loving this. I think this looks great. It's simple, but it's very effective. And then on the back, I've got this coffee dyed paper that I've turned into a teeny tiny envelope. So I'm just going to glue along the bottom here, and then we'll just fold it in and glue along the side and the bottom here. I really like this project for a million reasons, but the one in particular is the ability to use up all these great scraps of paper. Things that we hang on to, we don't know how we're going to use them, but we know we will use them. And then we've got a little bit of lace there that I staple on for a tab, and it just gets tucked up underneath there. Perfect. I love it. I love it. Okay, so we've got one more to do. And I'm looking at this dial. I like the raven. Just needs something up in the top corner. And then I come back to these, and I want this to work so badly, but just nothing is popping off the card at me. I do like this cat, and I like this hocus pocus, and I think I'm going to go back and revisit this and do one like this again. The hat, just a little bit too big. Now, I have this other paper frame, and I do like how the frame looks around the raven. But after playing with this for a bit, I decided the reason I wasn't super keen on it was the frame just sort of faded into the polka dot paper. I like this a lot, but it just wasn't quite... I was looking for something more punchy and a little bit more spooky at this point, because it is for Halloween after all. So then I was like, okay, again, this is perfect. This is all I need. Let's just get this dial glued down. This is from a Tim Holtz set of different dials. And I don't know where that raven came from, to be honest. Probably Tim Holtz. Everything seems to come from Tim Holtz. And I do like the bat, but I like the goblins better. So we were going with the goblins. And we're just going to put that there. I love this. This looks great. This is so perfect. And then on the back of this one, we are also going to do an altered paperclip. So I'm just kind of deciding, do I like the brown ribbon or the black organza ribbon? And I decide to go with the brown ribbon. So I'm just going to pull that through the top of the paperclip there. And once again, I trimmed down the ribbon, and then I'm going to get my masking tape and tape the paperclip onto the cardstock. And then again with the Beacon 3-in-1, we just go around and glue that on nicely there. I think at some point I might go in and stamp the back of these, take a rubber stamp maybe. So there you have it, my spooky friends. These are the 4 altered playing cards for Halloween that we came up with today. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I really do hope that you will give this a try because it is a lot of fun. And, you know, there's no pressure. You're just putting stuff together until your brain lights up like a Halloween tree. Right? And, oh, I should say lights up like a spooky jack-o'-lantern, shouldn't I? So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. And thanks for your support on the new channel. And I appreciate you being here with me. If you like this video, please give it a little thumbs up. And if you would be so kind as to subscribe, I would also very much appreciate that. And until the next video, stay spooky, my friends, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.